Hey guys, what's up? So today's video is going to be a story time video, and it's actually going to be a very funny story time because it's basically how a Grindr hookup stood me up and sent me to an old lady's house rather than his own. So before I was with Casey, I had what I call my whore phase, and it's where I was basically going on Grindr and sleeping around with a lot of people and not caring about it. And then thinking about that just makes me cringe. And then so one night I was randomly on Grindr just while I was living at home, doing whatever. I was probably on FaceTime with my friend Sammy, God knows what I was doing. But I was sitting at home and I was on Grindr. I was messaging this guy and we're like, hey, you know, you wanna fuck? Cause that's what you say on Grindr basically. You're very straight to the point. You don't beat around the bush at all. We got to the point where like, this is what we're gonna do. This is when we're gonna do it. And I was like, all right. He ends up beating around the bush for a really long time after telling me that, you know, he wants to fuck me. He's like, so what are you into? Or what do you like? Or, you know, just like weird questions like that where it's just like, well, you could find out if I just came over. And so I kept asking him and I kept asking him and I kept asking him, what's your address? What's your address? What's your address? Because on Grindr, it has this capability where it can tell you how close or how far away someone is from you in the reference of miles. And this guy, if I remember right, it said he was only like 0.4, 0.5, like not even a mile away. And when I was living at home, my parents were super strict with me and I had like a curfew by like 9 o'clock. I couldn't leave after 9 p.m. unless I was working, even though I was 18 or older. Anyway, I couldn't leave after like 9 p.m. I had to give them my phone every night because before I moved out, my parents were paying for my phone and they were like, well, if we're gonna pay for it, gotta follow our rules. And my dad made me put it in a safe at night. So like my parents were like super strict, but what they didn't know is that an iPod Touch could also go online rather than just an iPhone, and I had both. So they took my phone, but I still had my iPod, and that's like what I would FaceTime Sam on at night, or if I wanted to call on Grindr. He sent me an address eventually, finally, after like 25 minutes of trying to get him to send me his address, and I decide, you know, I'm gonna sneak out of the house. And it's not very hard to sneak out of my parents' house because my parents wake up really early in the morning for my dad's job. So they go to bed at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at night. And so it was probably about midnight or so when I was messaging this person, and they, like I said, they finally sent me the address, and I decided to sneak out of the house and I was gonna go. I went downstairs, I very quietly went down the stairs. There's wood threshold on both sides of the stairs that I like, when I was young, I learned how to sneak down the stairs. I would like put my feet on the wooden threshold and like skid myself down the stairs rather than actually stepping on the stairs because our stairs creaked. And I went downstairs, the dog started barking, so I just tried to play it off like I was trying to get something to snack on or whatever. And so I waited like 10 minutes downstairs and I just kind of like let the situation chill, see how things were going, see if my parents were even gonna come downstairs, because if they came downstairs, that was like the end of it. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go get fucked. So I was like really not hoping for a cock block. Then I finally go outside to my car, I get in, I get it started, and I GPS the address he sent me, and it's literally 3 streets down and around the corner. So I'm like, okay, this will be a quickie. This will be an easy one. It'll be a good get in, go out, blow, and done. I go to the address that this guy sends me, and I knock on the door, thinking, you know, whatever. A dog starts barking, but no one comes to the door. So I message him on Grindr, and I am like, what's up? I'm outside. No response. So I go and I knock on the door again. Keep in mind, this is like midnight, and I live in the ghetto, so this isn't a very good add-up. And so I'm like knocking on the door, the dog's barking again. And this lady walks by the front door but doesn't come to the door. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I knock again. When I see her, I'm like, hi, bitch, hello, let me in. And she comes to the door, very confused, and like, who are you? What are you doing? I explain, you know, I don't even remember the guy's name, but I was like, so-and-so sent me here, asked me to come here, we're supposed to hang out. And she's like, no one lives here by that name. And I'm like, what? So I show her the Grindr messages, reluctantly, because like, they're dirty, but I show her the Grindr messages, and I'm like, he sent me to this address, this time, like right now, like what's going on? And nothing, she was just like, I don't know who you are, but after reading those messages, I want you off my property. So I turned around, hightailed out, and I was incredibly embarrassed because not only did I just reveal the fact that I was a slut to this old lady, I woke her up at midnight on like a weekday because I thought that this guy lived here. Turns out he didn't. It was just a very awkward situation, and this old lady probably thought I was actually insane. So yeah, that was my story time on how a Grindr hookup stood me up and sent me to an old lady's house. If you guys did like this video, please leave a like down below. Also leave a like if you do like story time. Make sure to subscribe for more from me, and click that notification bell down below so you don't miss out on any time that I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.